Buenos dias. Safe practices are in order. Don't forget to wear your mask when you're going out. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap and water. Don't forget also social distancing. All right, girls. Abuelo, abuela, tio, tia, mama, papa, hermosa, hermoso, amigo, amiga. Welcome back. Benvenido. All right, so we are going now to our second art lesson. Let's see what we have to do. Screen share. Where's my presentation? Great. So let's see. Okay, we just a little technical difficulties here. Great. So let me just start from the beginning. Okay, so we are doing today mixed media. Just wait, let me get, where's my artwork? Where's my artwork? Okay, 1 minute. Good. So we are looking at mixed media. When we're talking about mixed media and coloring with mixed media, we can color with anything. But today we are looking at coloring with crayons, paints, coloring pencils, crayons or oil pastels. Our last lesson, this is the drawing we did, okay? Well, now I'm very pleased with your drawings. Very, very impressed how you were able to get your content in, all right? One thing though, don't forget your mountains, okay? Because we can't have her flying in the air. So the first part of our mixed media, we are going to use crayons. Now crayons are very, very interesting for the simple reason it's brilliance of color, all right, and also its wax content. Now I want you to make fireworks in the sky. Is 2021. I want you to make fireworks in the sky. Notice I started from one point using the crayon, pull out, okay? So I started from one point, pull out, and I had yellow and orange. You could use a combination of yellow and orange to come, because remember with the fireworks, we saw many beautiful colors, all right? The next thing I want you to do too, I want you to understand that our pencil, when we're doing art, pencil is where we draft our ideas, but now we want kabam. We want what we draw coming forward. So I want my numbers 2021 come forward. So I outlined, I chose a blue. I use yellow. Yellow especially by itself does not hold up. It needs a dark color to bring it forward. I use the green with the red. I use a purple with a pink and a red with an orange, okay? Notice to the brilliance of these colors, and this is the use of crayons. All right, now fireworks happens in a dark sky. So I needed to give the impression of a dark sky. So I made a wash. So you can see my little container here. It's water. Oh, look at here. Watery water, right? It's when I talk about a wash means a little bit of paint, a lot of water. So the sky, I was able to paint it in the sky. Notice I did not go down into my mountains. All right. Also too, notice too how the crayons came forward. So what we are doing is we are trying to create background, foreground. So our background, we had the sky, which is the wash. The foreground comes forward 2021 and the fireworks. All right. So we are continuing with painting and we're getting ready to do the tones in the mountains. Nothing in nature has one flat color. It's how light falls on it. So I just want to stop share for a minute and give you an illustration. So I have my model, right? And if you look at it carefully, the light is coming from above and you will see this is a white model. However, you're seeing the dark tones. Let me make it a little more dramatic now. I'm taking my lamp and I'm shining down, right? So the effect of the lamp is showing me it's same white, but some parts are brighter than other parts. It's dull, okay? So remember that. It's the where the light is falling, you will get it brighter. It's the same white. It's the same white, but you're also getting the different tones of it, okay? So let me just put this aside and let's go back now. Right. So I am making different tones of green. We're getting ready to paint the mountains. I had green and blue. I put green and blue together with a touch of black. If I wanted to, I could also add green and yellow. But I didn't want to put yellow so much because in the night, even though the mountains exist, we may not be able to see the lighter tones, but we could see the texture. Okay? All right, so notice my mountains. I painted my mountains, but I painted my mountains with texture. When I say texture, I mean that I just took the paintbrush, dabbed. Painting with texture means instead of painting it smooth, so let me just illustrate with you. If we want to get our paint going smooth, you just go left to right, left to right. But if we want texture, dab. That's what it is. Okay, so we are dabbing. Let's go back now. Okay, so the light is in the sky here, and I wanted, so therefore you might have bright areas. You could decide. So the light may have fallen, so you have your light green, but then here in the valleys, right, because mountains are high and low, the valley area would be dark green. Up here would be light. Down here would be dark. I put my blue, I dab blue and then green so I could get my mixture of dark and green. If you look at the mountains, yes, they are green. But don't you see the bundles of the trees? So this is what we're doing. We're giving the illusion. You can't draw each leaf, but you can give the illusion by creating texture, by dabbing. Okay? And by using the tones. And when you're using the tones, think where the light is. So where the light will be shining on your mountain is light green, and where it doesn't exist is dark green. So I knew that the light on top from the fireworks would be light, but lower down in the mountains it would be dark. Also, notice I drew my horizontal line. When we draw girls, we always have a horizontal line. So we are not flying in the air. We're not in space. We are here on earth. So you need that horizontal line. I noticed some girls in their drawings, they forgot their horizontal line. You need your horizontal line. All right, so this is what it looks like. So you see how I applied my different colors carefully around outline, okay? So I'm having my tones in my mountains. I can actually see my trees. I am seeing textures. Also, so the wash is in the background. The fireworks is coming forward. 2021 is coming forward. Okay? My background is created. Now we are working on the foreground. Now the background tends to be a little bit, we don't want to make it too bright because we want to come forward with the foreground. So we're using the next mixed media, which is coloring pencils. So again, if you look at nature, when you color grass, sometimes when you look at grass, a well-cut grass, it just look like plain green, but you will see specks of green. So I use my two tones of colored pencils. If you don't have it, it's the same color pencil, you press on it lightly to get that flat look and then use the tips hard and you'll get that dark look. All right. Okay, so here we have the grass. All right. Similarly, we're using the same techniques in the girls. Remember when we draw in pencil, pencil is our guide. What we use now is our colored pencils to outline. If you have an array of colored pencils, the darker tone will press harder on the pencil and then you color in the lighter tone. So your work pop out. Look at her face. You could have gotten to see her face. All right, because I use a darker brown or you could use black. You outline it and you color back in lightly. I gave her a little blush on her cheeks, all right, and her thing. So let me get you my work. So this is what it looks like. Notice too, clearly we can see it now. Now our work has dimension. We have background, right? We have the tones in the mountains. We have foreground. Foreground means front, right? So in the foreground, we can see she's standing on the grass. She's not in the air. We could see her clothes and how it's outlined. Okay, I outlined her clothes, right? Also look at her house, right? It's in the dark. I put on the light in the house, the colors of her home, the walls of her home, I outline. All pencil work, all notice, all pencil work has been outlined. All pencil work, you outline it. So let's just go over it again. So I use my crayons, right? Mixed media means you're using all your art equipment, okay? So crayons, or if you have oil pastels, I know some of you have oil pastels. Oil pastels, crayons, the same thing. The wax is what I want. And the wax in it brings out the color. Also, what's nice about the wax in it too, when you apply paint to it, they separate. Wax and paint does not work together. But it could work artistically because with the wax, it defines the fireworks and we have the background of the sky. The paint, right? We were able to paint the mountains, but painting the mountains with texture. So by dabbing, we dabbed, okay? Then we had our grass. Grass has blades of grass. It's not just flat green, so you could add a few blades of grass. The clothes, we define the clothes by outlining. You can use a darker color and then a lighter color. All right? It's in, and when we're doing art, think about what we're doing. So she's in her house. She opened her door to come outside. So there's light coming out from her house, right? Which we can see. That's the light from the inside. And then we have the door, right? And her house. All right, girls. So I look forward to your work. I am so proud of what I have seen thus far. Remember, safe practices. Wear your mask. Social distancing. Adios. Hasta la vista.